You want to spend as much time as possible with your family. But what about when work has you pulling long shifts away from home? Hi, guys. I'm Landon. I'm going to talk to you today about just that. So, working as an industrial electrician means you're sometimes subject to the schedule of the site you're on. And the last site that I was on had a very tight deadline and had all of the sub trades, including mine, working anywhere from 6 10-hour shifts to 6 12-hour shifts to sometimes 7 12-hour shifts and beyond for the duration of the job. Now, what does that do to your family life? In my case, I have a wife who's very understanding. She works in the building trades too, and recognizes that sometimes you're subject to the winds of the trade, right? It comes with the territory. Sometimes you don't have that flexibility in your schedule. As for my son, he was going to bed around the same time I was getting off of work. My wife luckily kept him up just that little bit later every day so that I could give him a kiss, say goodnight, help put him down before ultimately eating dinner and going to bed myself. My wife took over all of the duties that I would typically take care of at home without any fuss, but we did have to increase the communication about what was needed from either of us as partners. So things like when I was leaving, when I was coming home, what my wife had going on appointments wise, errands to run, and then what I could do to help her with what little time I had. Sometimes that meant I would leave my work site and go get groceries before heading home. I'd get home a little later and might miss my kid, but it might save my wife a much larger headache. So that communication was probably the most important thing. It might be a little more difficult over extended periods of time. This only happened for us over a time period of about 5 months. But if you're going on to a year, 2 years, you might want to rethink your strategy there. What it did for me in regards to my thoughts as a father was it made me question, is this conducive to the kind of father that I want to be? Let me explain. When I was growing up, my siblings and I don't remember our parents being at any of our events, sporting, graduations, any of that. And that's the opposite of what I want to be as a father. I would like my son to be going through any event and be able to look over into the stands and see his dad cheering him on and have him know that I'm proud of him. And so having an inflexible job is not really helpful with that, is it? It pointed me in the direction of being a driving factor as to why I turned these cameras on and began recording myself and uploading it to YouTube in the first place. Because if I can create a community around my experiences and relatable experiences from other men, women, parents, and people interested in what we have to say, then maybe I could make a shift in my workflows. Maybe I could down the line switch over to something like this more permanently and give myself some more flexibility to be there with my family when they need me to be and when I want to be, but also work the hours that I need to work to get done the things that I feel I need to. It's food for thought, but again, if you're going through it, communication has to be key. It's going to be your number one thing in whether or not your marriage, I wouldn't say survives, but whether or not your marriage becomes stressed in a period like that. Anyway, that's all I have for today. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.